repaired along with the other bridge projects. They're moving right along. I mean, how many, Panther Kill's going out to bid now. I think you're wrapping up the other 4 just about by the end of this fall. We should be all fixed with Peck Hollow.
Peck Hollow's got the abutments for it, and backfill. Little Peck Hollow, they're excavating the abutments now. And they'll probably start Lower Birch Street within the next week. And Muller is under construction now too. And Panther Kill hopefully is completed by the end of the year. Hopefully all the bridges are completed by this week.
By when?
That's
And
it.
we're doing another bridge ourselves too. We're doing Urban Bridge also.
And Irene hit when?
2011.
Yeah, it's 2016.
Eric, when did you say they're hopefully all done?
By the end of this year.
This
Well,
year?
we're working on FEMA extensions now. So, I
Maybe
mean,
this year.
every time we keep asking for extensions, you know, we need to get these bridges done. They're all on the contract. They're all, you know, they have stream permits, so they have to be out of stream by the end of September. So they're all under time constraints by DEC anyway. So we're hoping to have them all done by November, December.
Rob, maybe I misunderstood. There was $3 million originally planned that the town was to receive through Community Rising.
New York Rising.
New York Rising. So do I understand that instead of the $3 million for bridge repairs, whatever, you only need to use $1 million?
No. So what happens is during the New York Rising, and I believe the report is on the town website. If you go on the links, it'll show you. There were a number of projects that were highlighted by the committee, and again, it was a committee of non-elected officials that selected these
Well,
projects.
that's what I'm getting at, is that there's still a possibility that some of these other projects...
Well, from what I know, again, the town hall complex is still on there. Again, from what I've heard from New York Rising, they're looking to maybe move to feasibility and design phase for a town complex, which I heard the question as to why are we not fixing up the medic building? If we're gonna be looking at the possibility of creating a new town complex, why expend the monies for fixing a roof on a town building that they're gonna be relocating from? But the monies are reallocated, if you will, towards the other projects in their sequence of priority as was laid out by the committee when it voted.
Okay.
So it wasn't taken away from us, we still have the $3 million.
That's great news.
But instead of $2.5 million being expended on 5 bridges, we're spending only $500,000 on 1 bridge, and the remainder to be used for the other projects, be it the town hall complex, be it, I think it was emergency generators for the emergency repair buildings, but again, that'd be part of the complex.
Markers for the,
Yeah, adding,
you know, for the flood.
yeah, it was adding new monuments, new elevation monuments throughout the town to make it easier and cheaper to provide elevation certificates for individuals in the town. Multitude of other projects. But it's reality. We still have our $3 million. I say that.
Great.
Well, except for what we've expended on engineering so far, which is probably half. John.
I'd just like to give a short synopsis of our metal detecting weekend. I don't know
Yes,
if anybody else will people around.
I stopped one of them in my neighbor's yard. I don't know if I told you. I thought they were on somebody's property. I was like, wait, my dog's barking at him. I thought it was a bear. This guy's digging away in the weeds.
And, you know, every property was marked too. But we ended up with 42 metal detectors. Most of them stayed for the 3-day weekend, even though the weather wasn't great. Several of them brought families, so the families got to go to, you know, Phoenicia or the restaurants, et cetera, et cetera.
Woodstock.
So, or Woodstock. So, all in all, it was better than the last 2 years. I have to thank all the property owners that gave us permission. They were really terrific. They led us from the Grand Hotel to the Washington Inn to the Marlowe Mansion to all small farms and things. And we raised $1,000 for the Shandaken Museum. We donated $100 to the Train Museum. And I think Fleischman's Pine Hill Rotary gave us a barbecue on Saturday night. And I think that's one of the way to add into their budget too. I did bring some pictures of some of the finds that we had. This, to me, is the most unique one. It doesn't look like much, but it's an arm, and it really was about so big. It looked like something you dig out of the ground and just put in something. Well, we had a Civil War reenactor there, and he's really up on history. He turned it around and he showed us 3 little knobs on the back. He said this is where the wires were that attached it to the hat. This was some kind of, went to a hat that was worn between 1740 and 1770, before the Revolution. So that was really cool. We had,
Did you say what it stands for?
you know, he told me.
I think it stands for Rob. It should be in my house.
There was this Indian, it looks like a token or something. I didn't get, he just sent me the picture. I'm gonna leave these with Joyce if she wants to put them on the town website or something. It was a token, it was about the size of a 50-cent piece. This was a purse, a chain link purse, which is pretty cool. Looks like it's from the 1800s or something. We found coins back to the 1890s. One guy found a $1 gold piece. It's about the diameter of a diamond, about half as thick. It didn't have a date on it. It was from the Washington Museum, the Washington Hotel. So I'll leave these pictures if anybody wants to take a look at them, and maybe we can do this again next year.
Yeah, thank you, John, thank you guys for all the donation to the museums, I'm sure we appreciate it, greatly appreciate it, and continue the good work, and we welcome you back next year, so thank you.
And a little something for AC. Just a little credit for AC. She worked hard on her credit.
I believe there's a purse like that in the Pearson House in Kingston, in one of their artifacts. So,
Is that right?
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to compare, because it might give you a date, a relative date for that.
Yeah. One guy found a half of a skeleton key from the Grand Hotel. That was pretty, that's a cool thing.
My father had one with the wall.
I don't want to point at the guy with the Mets shirt in the back, but whatever.
Is that right?
I just want to bring out that we're still in the drought, and 2.5 inches. We need about 5 or 6 inches more rain, so.
Not all at once.
everybody has to- Not all at once. We do need that.
Oh, there's one thing we have to mention. The American Legion and VFW put in the flag monuments in both cemeteries, and if, you go by, you'll see it's very nice, so this way you don't have to put all the individual flags. So that's in honor of all the veterans at the cemetery, so.
Nice.
That was very nice, they donated all that, put it all up, so, it's good. Yep.
If there's no other public comments, I'd like to adjourn the meeting in memory of Gloria Rotella. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Have a safe August. See you September 12th, 6 weeks till our next meeting. What is big I was figuring, I was like 14 grand maybe. I said it at the beginning.